Edina is a city in Knox County, Missouri, United States, between the north and south forks of the South Fabius River. The population was 1,176 at the 2010 census. It is the county seat of Knox County. Geography: Edina is located at 40.1689 degrees north, 92.17333 degrees west, 40.1689 minus 92.17333. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 1.32 square miles, of which 1.31 square miles is land and 0.01 square miles is water. History: William Jackson Smallwood drew up the plans for Edina in 1839, situating it on high ground with an adequate water supply. Surveying was done by Stephen W. B. Carnegie, an attorney from Canton, Missouri. Edina was a reference to Edinburgh in Scotland. The town was incorporated in 1851 and had 800 residents by 1860. During the American Civil War, no battles were fought in Edina, but both the Union and the Confederacy engaged in recruiting in the area, and the town had divided sympathies. In July 1861, Confederate militia from Lewis County entered Edina, and the Union Home Guard retreated to Macon, Missouri. The city was peacefully occupied for several days, with Confederate troops encamped in the Milltown section. After the war, conflicts continued at a low level with occasional bloodshed, as was characteristic of the area. Edina became a center for business and transport. The town was reshaped by the 1872 arrival of builder Louis Waisha, who was responsible for the construction of St. Joseph's Church in 1874 and 8 of the 11 new buildings on the west side after the fire of 1891. In 1907, his firm built the public school and parochial schools. In 1907, as well as St. Joseph's School the same year, an electric power plant was constructed in 1890, a movie theater was established in 1908 and the streets paved in 1915, a new waterworks was put in place the same year. The city suffered during the Great Depression. 3 of its 4 banks closed, and the city lake fell to dangerously low levels in the drought of the late 1930s. The local economy was lifted in part by federal building projects, including the courthouse in 1935 and the school gymnasium in 1939. The post-World War II years saw a small construction boom. Parking meters were installed around the square in 1952 and remained controversial until they were removed in 1973. Dial telephone service appeared in 1960. During the 1980s, Edina survived economic distress, drought and a consequent crisis in water supply, decline in population, and the loss of its railroad. The 1990s saw continuing decline. The new business subsequently moved into vacant buildings on the square. Demographics: 2010 census. As of the census of 2010, there were 1,176 people, 535 households, and 312 families residing in the city. The population density was 897.7 inhabitants per square mile. There were 667 housing units at an average density of 509.2 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 98.6% white, 0.4% African American, 0.4% Native American, 0.1% Asian, and 0.4% from 2 or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 0.6% of the population. There were 535 households, of which 25.0% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 43.9% were married couples living together. 12.1% had a female householder with no husband present. 2.2% had a male householder with no wife present, and 41.7% were non-families. 38.3% of all households were made up of individuals, and 20.4% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.14 and the average family size was 2.84. The median age in the city was 46 years. 22.7% of residents were under the age of 18, 5.6% were between the ages of 18 and 24, 19.8% were from 25 to 44, 28% were from 45 to 64, and 24.1% were 65 years of age or older. The gender makeup of the city was 46.0% male and 54.0% female. 2000 census. As of the census of 2000, there were 1,233 people, 571 households, and 339 families residing in the city. The population density was 940.7 people per square mile. There were 678 housing units at an average density of 517.3 square mi. The racial makeup of the city was 97.16% white, 0.08% African American, 0.08% Native American, 0.16% Asian, 0.16% from other races, and 2.35% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 0.65% of the population. There were 571 households, out of which 22.9% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 47.1% were married couples living together. 9.6% had a female householder with no husband present, and 40.6% were non-families. 38.9% of all households were made up of individuals, and 21.5% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.11 and the average family size was 2.78. In the city, the population was spread out, with 22.4% under the age of 18, 5.6% from 18 to 24, 21.5% from 25 to 44, 23.6% from 45 to 64, and 26.9% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 45 years. For every 100 females there were 86.0 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 82.6 males. The median income for a household in the city was $24,900, and the median income for a family was $30,938. Males had a median income of $21,492 versus $16,458 for females. The per capita income for the city was $12,863. About 15.1% of families and 19.1% of the population were below the poverty line, including 29.7% of those under age 18 and 19.3% of those age 65 or over. Weather. According weather data tallied between July 1, 1985 and June 30, 2015 for every location in the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's official climate database. Edina, Missouri, is the snowiest place in the state of Missouri with an average of 22 inches of snow per year. Notable natives: Terry Joyce, college football All-American and AMP professional football player; George Turner, United States Senator.